this is Martin from SUPERMANIA78.com. Thank you for joining me. You probably won't guess where I am. It's been a few years, but I am in fact in Milton Keynes Central, and I am here in front of the Daily Planet lobby. Now, what I'm going to do today with my good friend Andrew Hanton is behind the camera. Say hi, Andrew.
Hi.
Is I'm going to do a guided tour of the sets from Superman 4, The Quest for Peace, something I've always wanted to do. But since I've done the Redux a few years back, the Richard de Dominici film, where I starred as Superman, this is the first time I've been back here. So Andy's never seen it before. It's wowed him already, and we'll get stuck straight in because on the very spot that I'm standing, if you go back 2 videos on my channel, you'll see the Splash special where the filming was taking place, and this precise area is where the yellow taxi was, with Lacey Warfield inside, and the deleted scene where Clark Kent comes out, kisses her goodbye, and the taxi drives off in that direction. It's right here. And this is in front of the Daily Planet, or what was used as the Daily Planet lobby set. This is in fact an area in the Avery building in Milton Keynes, very well documented on my site. But let's take a walk inside and have a look around, shall we? So after 35 years, here it is, more or less intact the way it was. This is the Daily Planet lobby. If you look either side of here, you'll remember from the film, of course, there were 2 sets of escalators, both leading up to the top. In around 2000 or so, that was changed. They were taken away, and instead 2 staircases were put in. Later on, they changed the configuration, so there's 1 central staircase leading up. But all of this space here, behind these hoardings, that space is still there, where the rest of the set, including the inflatable globe, was there too. So in the film, there's a lot more depth to this particular sequence. And now, of course, you know, some years later, it's closed off because it's basically just an entrance for a gym now. But let's take a little round. If you look at the video that I've just talked about, the Splash special, if you look, it's so quick, but you can see that they're filming the end sequence where they've dismissed Mr. Warfield and Perry White is giving his little speech. And if you look really closely, you can see Christopher Reeve right here in his director's chair, signing an autograph for one of the crew. It's the quickest shot, but this is where it took place. Over in this direction, for anybody that's familiar with the film, there's a big display here, and there are 2 workmen that snap off the Warfield Publications sign, and the Daily Planet one is left. That took place right here. There is a still of the entire gang all stood here, and we know this because if you look at the fire door signs, they're from way back when. They've not changed. Everything in here now, unfortunately, is just starting to show its age. It's in a bit of a state of disrepair, if I'm honest, this place now. But you know, apart from that though, it's unchanged. It's exactly as it was, and you know, so is the atmosphere really. It's marvellous to be here because, you know, sets in movies are struck. You know, there's nothing left of them. Yeah, odds and sods, bits and pieces that, you know, that turn up later. But to have a whole set that wouldn't take, God, a few days' work, and you can bring it back round to what it was originally. So this is where, and this surrounding area, obviously we've got the part outside that they shot. We've got this interior where they also shot. But this whole building was a set for Superman 4, and I'm going to show you exactly where else they shot. You won't believe the proximity of how close everything is to each other. Follow me, let me show you this. I'm going to take a little walk through here and see if you recognise it before I say anything. So pretty much an unassuming space. But what if I turn around and told you that this is the Superman Museum, and this is where the statue, I think it was, God, it must have been about 19 feet tall, polystyrene statue was situated right here 30 plus years ago, and the weight with the strand of Superman's hair attached, adjacent, about here. And this It's just literally behind the Daily Planet set. It's this stretch. It's just corridor. They manipulated a corridor to make it look like a museum. If that's not good production design, I don't know what is. But it gets better. This is what's known as the Winter Gardens. And the Winter Gardens in Milton Keynes is the live set where Gene Hackman, John Cryer, shot their scenes as Lex and Lenny Luthor, before they arrived to the museum. The museum is closing soon, so we should hurry a little. Is that staircase over there? The staircase that Gene Hackman walks down and he's saying, you know, I can do the strand of Superman's hair, is there. Incredible to think, isn't it? But you know, we even think that the Bannatyne gym beneath us is where they did the gym scenes as well with Clark and Lacey. We've never actually gone inside to verify that. I doubt the layout would be the same anyway or recognisable. But this, there's not a brick out of place compared to what it used to be. So imagine that. Imagine 3 sets from 3 sequences in the film, all within feet. Daily Planet entrance, Daily Planet lobby, the Metropolis Museum, and the entrance to that. It's incredible. And where we're going to next is the Metropolis Hotel, and that's literally 20 feet that away. So let's go that way, shall we? So no more than 20 feet away from the Daily Planet entrance, we stroll down here, right in front of the Avery building, which is now the Sainsbury's and Argos headquarters. And you may find something familiar about this step. This, for some reason, the most famous step probably in the world, is where the car that Christopher Reeve ran out from that point there, changed in the back of the car, and a Superman stepped from this step and flew in that direction. Now, I don't want to burst anybody's bubble here, but I don't think that was Chris. I think it was Chris so far as Clark coming out to the car, and then they switched with his stunt double Mark Stewart, who then, in the white harness, took straight off. So that's, I mean, if you have a look around, it's just suburban Milton Keynes, the office district, nothing particularly special about it. But again, they made such terrific use of the scenery, of the locations. We're going to try and just stroll straight into this headquarters now, and I don't know how it's going to go, so we're going to cut. And then, depending on how things go, we'll either be talking from inside or we'll probably have footage of security guards kicking us straight out, but stick with us, let's see how it goes. So, success. Thanks to the very generous cooperation of the security guys here that we've just had a chat with. We are in what was the Metropolis Hotel lobby. If you look at the doors behind me, you will remember in the picture that Christopher Reeve runs in this direction, goes through the revolving doors into the back of that car to change, switches out with a stunt double, and he flies off. Just further into the lobby is one of my favourite shots from the picture when Christopher Reeve runs back in and he skids and he almost falls over. That took place right here. This is carpeted now. It used to be laminate flooring, so everything's a bit different now. But yeah, it's everything, again, still exactly the same as it was 30 plus years ago. Even if you look upwards to the lift, that glass elevator is where Lacey Warfield looks down and says, "Oh, Clark," because the sequence where he's got the suitcases and gets pushed by the concierge around here, he snatches his glasses off about this point and then he makes the run. It's all here. And in this very same building, on the 7th floor, is where the Daily Planet office was. Now, we can't get access to that because this is still very much a working headquarters, and so we're lucky to get this far. But, you know, as serendipity would have it, it's wonderful to be inside the Metropolis Hotel once more. And so, on to the next location. So here we are finally in Milton Keynes Central train station. Anybody that would have just seen what Andrew's beautifully shot, the frontage of the station, will remember it from the end sequence where Superman flies in to what we are led to believe is the UN building. And very famously, 30 plus years ago, the whole of the town of Milton Keynes all came out to see it. And so this is pretty much hallowed ground. This is exactly where we shot the Redux that many years later. I've not been back since then, as I said, so this is a pilgrimage for me. It's wonderful to be here. I'm so glad that very little, if anything, has changed. Although I do see that I think they intend to resurface this area. So all of the slabs, all of this floor space that we'll be familiar with, I think that's all going to come up, which is a shame. These buildings, I think, will be here forever. But again, the area seems to be, even in the this time of COVID, seems to be up and coming even more than it was. So there's a lot of new buildings being put up, which is kind of casting a shadow on this area. But you know, that's progress, just like they say in the film, for that matter. So if you follow me, we're going to go on a little trail for where these shots were done all those years ago. As I say, from this point, if we look over here, this is where Chris did the wire work, landed, but where he actually arrives in the square with Jeremy takes place over here. So let's go. See, in this environment, there's a lot of this used to be a huge open space, and there's a lot of shrapnel around now, but you get the idea. This central passageway is where most of the action took place. We think that, well, with some certainty, that this is where the landing was. And when the crowd gathered, Chris and the group walked in this direction. Bearing in mind, it was only a couple of shots. It was a shot across the main breadth of this, where the famous fire hydrant was put in place, pigeons for atmosphere, and we head in that direction where that far building is in the shot. Now, a lot of people think that the whole sequence where he goes and addresses the UN is in this area, but it isn't. If you notice, as soon as he takes the crowd with him, walks off in that direction, there's a cut, and then from that point on, he's walking into Wembley Conference Centre, which isn't anywhere near here, and it doesn't even exist anymore, sadly. Otherwise, that's where we'd be going next. So yeah, it only amounts to a few shots, but you know, the film is so synonymous with this town by now, with Milton Keynes, and you know, people seem to remember. You know, it's still very much kind of what this town is notable for. But you know, as I look around and see people running around, Andrew and I were just kind of talking about the fact that, you know, there are so many people that walk through these sets, these movie sets every day, and they have no idea that's what they're doing. You know, this is a Hollywood movie set. It's reality, but nonetheless, there it is. But nobody's got any idea, except if you're a resident and you remember it fondly, and it's obviously on record, thanks to crackpots like us. I never get bored of it. This is my favourite place probably in the world. Who knows? But it's lovely to be here in the company of Andrew. Say hi, Andrew, again.
Hi.
He's enjoyed this no end, haven't you, mate?
It's been a fabulous day. Fabulous day.
Yeah, and we're just gonna mope around here and take in the atmosphere. It's a beautiful afternoon, very befitting of the visit, and I hope you've enjoyed this tour. Incidentally, I know there are others out there. I've seen a few myself. They're really good, and they go to the same places that we've been to. It's just that you know, for me, having done the Redux and having the ridiculous attachment I have to this picture, and how much I kind of how much I've become an ambassador for it over the years. I just wanted to share with you, kind of a guided tour of at these places as they exist today, because who knows what's going to change in future. Hopefully not much, but at least for any of you guys watching in the States, hi, how you doing? I hope if you never make it over here, I'm trying to give you an idea of what it would be like. It's it's pretty overwhelming is how I'd describe it. Wouldn't you say so, Andrew?
I would say so. It's a very surreal experience standing in exactly the same place that Chris stood and the other cast members. It is overwhelming. You're absolutely right, Mark.
Yeah. overwhelming. So anyway, I hope you've enjoyed it. Please subscribe if you haven't already. As I said in my last video, I'm so chuffed that I've got 500 followers. I hope I get a bunch more. But you know, what's more important to me is that you give me some feedback about whether you're enjoying what you're seeing, whether I'm doing the kind of thing that you want me to do. But you know, let's just keep going to get the extended edition of Superman 4 out there. Release the Fury cut, for the love of God. I'm standing here praying right now where they shot it, in the hope that one day this will all emerge and we can start all over again. Then it's not going to close the book on anything. If anything, it's going to blow it wide open and we can start these debates again. And once we have the full cut, we'll know what we're talking about. But until then, we're going to keep at it. So yeah, go forward. I'll see you soon.